This is a review of teenage. Everyone's favorite photo and video star. The year was 1973. The Mets went to the World Series. The first cell phone call was made. And William and Herman opened a specialty photography shop in Clementi Orange, New York City. They had a simple philosophy.
Be honest, treat people right, and they will come back.
Thanks, Herman. Also, free candy. And it worked. For the next 20 years, we expanded and moved to West 17th Street, then 34th Street and 9th Avenue, and added more. Lighting, binoculars, telescopes, audio, video, tripods, computers, printers, mobile televisions, projectors, drums, and even more free candy. Now it's 3 stories, over 400,000 products, and over 1,000 employees. We take millions of orders online and ship to 179 countries and counting. You can talk to us in person, on the phone, or online. Check out our checkout baskets. Also check out our checkout numbers. Also check out the flavor on Maria's Nest. And everyone's favorite part, belt.
The best of the conveyor belt is you don't have to worry about the products left around anymore until
They own it. They still go to work every day. Around somewhere. Anyway, this is Jeanette. Oh, sorry, she's busy. This is our warehouse. This is Yaakov the lady fighting over lighting kits. B&H is not a chain. B&H is open every day, except Saturdays, of course. Now you know almost the whole story. We are B&H.
Welcome back, guys. My name is Danny Burke. That's my name. I don't have any other identity, but some people do. Some people lead not one, but multiple different lives. They have different names, different jobs, and different reasons for doing it. Their stories are fascinating, a little bit creepy. This is the top 10 people who led double lives. If you like this shirt, then you can head on over to mostamazingshop.com to get this and a bunch of other different merch that we have, and it's almost amazing. All great, so make sure you check it out right after this video. Starting off at the 10 now, we have Frank Abagnale Jr. It might not be fair to say this man led a double life, he led a lot more than that. As a teenager in the 60s, he used fake names and dodgy checks to commit serious bank fraud, earning thousands of dollars. At 16, he managed to fool an airline into letting him fly as a co-pilot. He eventually clocked over 1 million miles. He continued to use fake identities to become a teacher, then a doctor, and then finally an attorney, none of them which he was qualified to do. At age 22, he was eventually caught by the FBI in France printing out fake checks. He was in prison for 12 years and then released on the condition he would help the FBI catch other criminals just like him. His autobiography was turned into the 2002 movie Catch Me If You Can, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hanks. Next up at number 9 now, we have Anna Chapman. In 2010, Russian spies and operatives were exposed in the US. One of them was Anna Chapman, or as her family in Russia knows her, Anna Vasilievna Kushyenka. She set up a real estate business in New York which employed about 50 people. She dated a local restaurant owner and lived a normal American life. Nobody suspected she was actually a Russian operative. Even her own American husband had no idea. When she was finally caught, some of her intimate pictures from her Facebook made their way around the internet. She posed for Playboy and was traded for American prisoners from Russia. Upon returning to Russia, Anna was showered with medals and awards. My life isn't quite as exciting as that, I have to admit. Next up at number 8 now, we have John Wayne Gacy Jr. If you lived in Illinois during the 1970s, you might have known this man as a respected businessman, a community activist, and also a clown. He went by the name Pogo Clown and entertained kids at their parties. However, this wasn't his double life. During all of this time, he was actually a serial killer. From 1972 to 1978, he killed an estimated 33 teenage boys and a young man. Many of them were tortured as well. He became known as the Clown Killer and was eventually caught, sentenced to death, and executed. Coming in at number 7 now, we have John Leonard Au. This one is pretty crazy. John was a fire captain and fire investigator in LA during the 70s and 80s. It was his job to figure out how fires started and how to prevent them in the future. And he was very good at it, receiving multiple promotions. Well, incredibly, it turns out that a lot of those fires were being caused by John Au himself. By day, he would investigate fires, and by night he would start them. The fires he started resulted in millions of dollars of damage and claimed the lives of 4 people. He was eventually caught thanks to a fingerprint found at the site of a failed fire. He was sentenced to life in prison. Next up at number 6 now, we have Jake Rush. He was a straight-shooting conservative Republican who was known in Florida as an attorney, a sheriff's deputy, and a congressional candidate. Oh, and he was also a cocaine vampire. I forgot to mention that one. That's right, Mr. Rush was part of the Mind's Eye Society, a group of adults who acted out their make-believe fantasies away from the public eye. The character he played and wrote about was called Chaz Darling, a vampire rapist who loved cocaine. At the time, some people said, hey, every adult has a right to be as messed up as they want behind closed doors, and while you could argue that, Mr. Rush's political opponents jumped on this story when it came out and tore him to shreds. They really sank their teeth in, like vampires. Coming out number 5 now, we have Matthew K. He was a high school teacher in New York who started skipping work in 2004. The school just thought he was sick, but it turns out he wasn't sick, he was taking time off to be a wrestler. He went by the name Matt Striker, and this character would fight people in the ring as a teacher. At one point, he even appeared on WWE SmackDown. Amazingly, nobody at the school even noticed for months. When they finally found out, he quit his job and went full-time as a wrestler. That is a hard act to follow for the next teacher. Moving on to number 4 now, we have Leland Yee. He was a California senator who made a name for himself speaking out against gun ownership. After a mass shooting in 2013, he said nobody in California should own an assault rifle and there was no further discussion needed. A year later, Mr. Yee was arrested after he was found by the FBI to be part of a criminal gang that was smuggling guns into America. I mean, you actually couldn't write this, could you? Apparently, he was gun smuggling so that he could pay off his campaign debt after running for mayor. Haven't checked yet, but I don't think he won that. Next up at number 3 now, we have Attila Ambrus. He was a hockey player in Hungary. His position was in goal, and the truth is, he wasn't very good. Maybe he just wasn't putting in as much practice as his teammates. To be fair though, he was a little bit busy because when he wasn't playing hockey, he was a bank robber, known as the Whiskey Robber. In 1983 alone, he robbed 29 establishments and would often leave flowers behind as a sort of apology to the staff. The government wasn't very well liked at that time, so the Whiskey Robber became a kind of Robin Hood hero to the people. He was eventually caught in 1999 and released in 2012. Apparently, he now makes pottery. Of course he does. That's the next logical step. Hockey player, bank robber, potter. Alright, at number 2 spot now, we have Tor Hedin. In 1951, the Swedish town of Saxtorp was being plagued by an axe murderer. The people put their trust in police officer Tor Hedin to solve the case. He was the best person in the world to figure out who that axe murderer was, because it was actually him. He'd been committing crimes in the town for 8 years that had all led up to the murder of a man who was actually a friend of his. A while later, his girlfriend dumped him and Hedin just lost it. He kidnapped her and threatened her life. The police fired him and then he lost it even more, killing his parents, his ex-girlfriend, and 5 people in an old people's home. Finally, he drowned himself in the lake and left a note behind explaining that he was the killer. I think at that point, people were probably starting to have their suspicions. And finally, at number 1, we have Reverend Sean Harrison. As you guys might tell from his title, this was a Christian minister. He also worked as a school dean and an anti-violence activist. At the weekends, he mainly just, worked as an enforcer for local drug dealers. That's right, he had a bunch of younger drug dealers working underneath him. He managed to hold down all of these jobs for a while before getting in trouble for pushing a student at school. They were just about to fire him when something a lot worse surfaced. A video of him shooting a student in the back of the head. You heard me right. The student was one of his dealers, and luckily, he survived and testified against him. Reverend Sean Harrison was swiftly arrested and convicted for the shooting, not the pushing. Alright guys, well those were some pretty crazy stories about people who led double lives. Do any of you guys lead double lives? Are you going to tell me? Probably not. Let me know what kind of story type videos you want to see next on the channel. My name is Danny Burke. Thank you for watching as always, and I will see you all in the next video. This video goes to all our professional criminals out there. I know videos have ignored you for too long now, and I'm sorry. Of course, this is for all our criminal or not. These are the criminals who made the police's job very, very easy indeed. My name is Danny Burke. Let's get into the top 10 dumbest criminals ever caught. Coming in number 10 now, we have Darren Kimpton. Back in 2013, this British man tried to rob a house of its money. He broke in only to find the house was full of police officers who then swiftly arrested him. Why were there police officers there, you might ask? They were investigating another robbery that happened at the house very recently. A robbery done by him, Darren Kimpton. That's right, he returned to the scene of the crime to try and rob the house again, only to get arrested by the officers investigating his first robbery. Now, I don't want to start giving robbers, but yeah. House, maybe. Next up at number 9 now, we have David Zerfler. This man from Alberta, Canada, was arrested in 2014 for drink driving. The 18-year-old was put in the back of the police patrol car while they took him to the station to do a full breathalyzer test. That's when David came up with a genius way to try and cheat the test. He would sober up by eating his own underwear. Yeah, you heard me. David ripped his underwear off and then just shoved it in his mouth. Did it work? No, it didn't. Surprisingly, he blew way over the limit. The difference was he now had the taste of his own underwear in his mouth for the rest of the night. Next up at number 8 now, we have Albert Bailey. In 2010, this 27-year-old decided to rob a bank in Connecticut. He was worried about the getaway though. Bank robbers get caught by a slow getaway, so Albert phoned the bank ahead of time. He told them to have the money ready for him so that he could be in and out quickly. Genius! The bank hung up the phone and immediately called the police, who were waiting for Albert when he arrived. They gave him a quick getaway to prison. This story is a good reminder that bank robberies don't work the same way as pizza collections, just in case you didn't know that already. Alright, moving on to the number 7 spot now, we have Stefan Crane. This story is almost too good to be true. This man from Montana broke into a newsroom in the middle of the night while he was drunk. He watched porn on 2 computers and even had time to check his own Facebook. He then sprayed a fire extinguisher everywhere and finally with a big bag of M&Ms that he had found. When police arrived at the scene, they just followed the trail of M&Ms from the newsroom across the road and right to the door of Stefan's sister where he was staying that night. That's right, the police literally followed a trail of chocolate to catch this suspect. Amazing. Alright, next up at number 6 now, guys, we have Klaus Schmidt. In 1995, this German man tried to rob a bank in Berlin. He made his demands to all of the employees with a gun in his hand. One of them asked him if he needed a bag, and he said, yes, it's a real gun. They also noticed that he would only respond to the person he was looking at. That's when it hit them. He was deaf. It hit the alarm, and Klaus didn't move a muscle. He just kept barking orders at them until police arrived soon after. But wait, it gets even dumber. Klaus later tried to sue the bank for exploiting his disability. I wonder how that went. Alright, moving on to number 5 now, we have the coffee. In 2010, a man pushed in front of a Starbucks line, threw a drink over the employee, and demanded all the money in the till be given to him. The 2 men that he had pushed in front of were very shocked, mainly because they were police officers in full uniform. They took him to the ground and arrested him right there. What's even more crazy is that they had actually been talking to the same man in the street just a little while before. I guess he sees the person of the uniform, which is nice, unless you plan on robbing Starbucks. Definitely check out the uniform then. Coming in at the number 4 spot now, we have Rellyford Cooper. In 2015, this 26-year-old from New York led police on a high-speed chase while he was drunk behind the wheel. It all ended with him crashing into a ditch and then into a nearby house. He ran into a nearby church where police finally arrested him. It was at that point that Rellyford said they had the wrong guy. It was actually his dog that was driving. The police apologized and let him go. No, of course they didn't. They couldn't even find a dog at the scene. Good try though. Okay, at the number 3 spot now, we have Jason Poitier. This man from Vancouver was approached by police who wanted to search his apartment for drugs. Now at the time, he was not actually a suspect for this. They were in fact looking for someone else who lived in his apartment block. They got a hold of Jason's phone and couldn't believe what they saw. He had saved himself as Jason Poitier, drug dealer. They found the drugs and arrested Jason. That's why my contact details are always saved as Danny Burke. Totally innocent. Coming in at number 2 now, we have Zachary Tentoni. In 2013, this 26-year-old man from Connecticut robbed a woman at night, taking her wallet. And while fleeing from the scene, he dropped 2 bags. At first, police didn't think they had much to go on. They appeared to just contain clothes and shoes and also his birth certificate. Yeah, for some reason Zachary had his birth certificate in one of the bags that he had left at the scene of the crime. Amazingly, police were able to use this to identify Zachary. Definitely a tough case to crack though. And finally at the number 1 spot now we have Ruben Zarit. This man from Chicago tried to hold up a muffler shop back in 2008. He had a gun and he told the employees to open up the safe. The employees told him they couldn't even open the safe because the manager wasn't there. Ruben then said to them, "Okay, that's fine. Here's my phone number. Call me when your manager is back to open the safe for me. I'm going now." He then left and the employees called the police right away. Obviously, when the police arrived, they got the employees to call Ruben back and tell him that the manager had returned. Ruben showed up, Ruben got arrested. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed all of that dumb criminality. I hope it's not inspired any of you to a life of crime though. Crime never pays, especially if you're the people in this video. Would you guys like a part 2 to this? There's a comment section where you can let me know if that sounds good. My name is Danny Burke, thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Difference.
I know you do.
Oh, I won't back down.
Hello, you beauties! How are you today? I'm Rebecca Felgate and I'm very excited because I have another most amazing top 10 for you. And today is a hilarious one. It is top 10 dumbest criminals of all time. Ooh! So first up, guys, I want to hear from you. What is the most stupid thing that you have ever done in your life? Let me know in the below. You don't even have to have physically done it either. What's the most stupid thing that you've ever said? I, for one, once thought that wind turbines were solar powered. Not just a hat rack, my friends. So launching in at number 10 of our top 10 criminals is Jonathan Payton, aka the guy who dressed up as a cow in order to steal milk. 18-year-old Jonathan Payton cow-suited up in order to steal 96 gallons of milk from Walmart in Virginia. Now that's around 640 pints of milk. Jonathan caught the attention of shop workers because, you know, he was full-on dressed as a cow, also loading as much milk as could physically fit in his cart and just exiting the store without paying. If that wasn't enough, he then sat outside the store trying to give away the stolen goods to bemused passers-by. Now it's either some kind of highbrow political statement on the treatment of cattle or just a dumb prank gone horribly wrong. Who knows? Police found it pretty easy to spot who the criminal was when they found Jonathan sitting in the cow suit. Suffice to say, it made for a pretty interesting mugshot. In at number 9, we have Michael Logan, aka the guy who handcuffed himself and turned himself in. Michael Logan Brown, a 19-year-old from Texas, was smoking pot and goofing around with his friends. Unfortunately, somehow he managed to handcuff himself. I think lesson number 1, when you're doing something illegal, maybe make sure there aren't handcuffs around. Poor stupid Logan tried everything to get out of the handcuffs. He tried sawing them off, he tried everything. He didn't have the key. So what did he decide to do, that bright spark? He went down to the police station. I guess maybe the police wouldn't have known that he'd been smoking pot, or would they? Unfortunately, Logan was already wanted on an outstanding warrant, and he was stupid enough to give his real name to the officers. Also, when they searched him, he had marijuana in his pocket. Guess they'll just be leaving those handcuffs on then. Good job, Logan. Next up at number 8, we have a case of deaf as well as dumb. Woo! At number 8, we have Klaus Schmidt, aka the guy who couldn't hear the alarm. In 1995, Klaus Schmidt tried to rob a bank. Sure, the only problem is Klaus can't hear. But that's fine. Do you know what? Equal opportunities with your thieves. Good on you, Klaus. Klaus decided to trot on down to the bank in Berlin, Germany. When an employee of the bank noticed that Klaus was acting suspiciously, he asked him if he was okay and whether he needed a bag. Unfortunately, because Klaus couldn't hear him properly, he gave himself away by saying, "You're damn right it's a real gun." Good one, Klaus. This announcement led to another employee pressing the security alarm, but unfortunately for Klaus Schmidt, he couldn't hear it. Despite the alarm sounding very loudly, Schmidt went about his business. Now, this wasn't until the police showed up. Despite having been arrested for armed robbery, Klaus Schmidt then tried to sue the bank for exploiting his disability. Oh, Schmitty. In at number 7, we have Derek Mosley, aka the guy who tried to rob a gun shop with a baseball bat. Not his best idea. There's that age-old saying, don't bring a knife to a gunfight. Well, I guess he didn't get the memo, because I'm pretty sure this also applies to baseball bats. 22-year-old Derek Mosley tried to steal a gun from a discount gun store just outside Portland, Oregon, USA. Now, Derek stormed in and smashed a counter in the gun store. Luckily, it was a gun store, so when the manager saw, he pointed his own firearm at him and apprehended him until the police arrived. Funnily enough, when the police showed up, they saw Derek lying on the ground with the manager of the store pointing his gun at him. Derek was charged with first-degree robbery, first-degree theft, unlawful possession of a firearm, second-degree criminal mischief, and bail was set at $250,000. Derek, you're a fool. In at number 6, Dennis Hawkins, aka the guy who dressed as a very, very unconvincing woman. Dennis Hawkins, a 48-year-old man from Pittsburgh, decided to use the element of disguise when carrying out a robbery. Whilst he successfully managed to get the cash, CCTV picked him up. The CCTV wasn't tricked by his shrewd disguise. On top of that, Dennis didn't think of aiding his getaway by, ditching the fake boobs and wig, making him easily recognisable. Did I mention he was also wearing clown trousers? No? Oh, well, he was also wearing bold clown trousers. Inconspicuous. Continuing to don his cross-gender look, the police were able to track him down as a man or woman fitting his description was spotted at a gas station trying to steal a getaway car. Now, things got worse for poor old Dennis, who had tried to open the box of cash he had stolen, activating the ink dye security device. So the police found Derek half dressed as a woman, half dressed as a clown, covered in red ink. In at number 5, our halfway point, it is Michael Anthony Fuller, aka the guy who tried to use a $1 million note. $1 million note? How handy would that be? Except any non-idiot knows that that's just not a real thing. Just have a wad of them casually in the back. 53-year-old Michael was in possession of a fake $1 million bill. Great for him. Now, Michael was keen to get rid of the forged note, so did what he must have thought was the intelligent thing. He went down to his local Walmart, tried to buy a vacuum, a microwave, and assorted goods totaling $476. Now, when he got to the checkout, he was clearly expecting some change. Wonderful, right? When he handed over the bill, he expected $990,524 in change. Now, obviously, the cashiers were somewhat smarter than Michael and called the police. After the police were called, Fuller was charged with attempting to obtain goods under false pretenses, aka the deception law in the UK, and forgery. Now, lesson learnt. If you're gonna commit some forgery, maybe do your research first. $1 million bill. Honey, how do you think they are? One of my personal favourites in at number 4, it's David Zerfler, aka the guy who tried to eat his underwear. In 1985, 18-year-old David Zerfler from Alberta, Canada, who, by the way, looked great in his mugshot and on his glasses, was driving after drinking alcohol and was seen weaving down the highway. David was soon pulled over by the police. As he was being detained in the back of a patrol car, an officer saw him begin to tear up the crotch of his underwear and begin to eat it to try and absorb the alcohol in his body. To be totally fair to David, maybe he's not such an idiot because he actually blew a 0.08, which meant he was not over the limit, he was just on it. Maybe there were some other substances involved that we couldn't detect in the 80s. Just saying. In at number 3, we have Valadeo, aka the guy who didn't cut a hole big enough for his escape. Ever seen Prison Break? I mean, spoiler alert, but those guys, they break. Now, maybe inspired by this, Rafael Valadeo and his friends tried to escape their prison cell in Brazil. Their plan probably would have succeeded if it wasn't for Rafael. Raphael. I mean, check out this picture. Like, look at him. God bless him. Stuck in the wall, not going anywhere. Prison officers heard yelps coming from an area in the prison. They went to find out the cause of the noise and found that this chap here had just got casually stuck. Now, the officers had a good old laugh at this fool before having to call the fire services to cut him free. If you are partial to a slice of cake or 20 and you happen to be planning to bust out of prison, maybe consider digging a hole big enough for the junk in your trunk. Just saying. In at number 2 is the criminals who like beer more than their freedom. Now, this story comes all the way from my homeland of the United Kingdom. In 2011, cunning Derbyshire police sent letters to dozens of suspects who had evaded them for months, inviting them to call a telephone number for free beer. Now, many suspects called, not realising they were going through to the police department. The officer on the line arranged a time and a place to meet the criminals to give them their free beer. I love this, like, as if you get something through the post being like, free beer, you're a wanted criminal. You call the number? You crazy. As the criminals showed up for their bounty at locations around Derbyshire and Nottinghamshire, they were duly arrested. If there's one thing this story tells me, it's that beer wins, guys. Beer wins! So we have reached that point in our top 10 dumbest criminals list, where we're going to do a little recap and then tell you who is the dumbest criminal of all time. So far, we have had so many dumb criminals. We've had a guy who dressed as a cow to steal milk, a guy who tried to rob a gun store with a baseball bat, the guy who didn't drill a hole big enough, the criminals who bloom in love a bevy, but who could be the dumbest criminal of all time? At number 1, we have Ruben Zarate, aka the guy who left his number at the crime scene. Isn't it a nightmare when you go down to the store and they don't have what you want in stock? What would you do? Maybe leave your number, get them to call you when they have it? Yeah, unless you're trying to rob the store, in which case, maybe don't. 18-year-old Ruben Zarate tried to rob a Chicago car parts shop. He had a gun, he was ready to take the dough. One problem, the money was in a safe and the only person with the key to the safe was the manager, who wasn't there. Here Ruben had a few choices. He could admit defeat, he could shoot them all anyway, or avoid mass murder by leaving his number with the store employees and ask them to call him when the manager's in. Guess what he did? As he left, the store called the police. The police turn up. They say, hey, why don't you give this guy a call? Tell him that the manager's back so he comes back. Now, bless little Ruben. What did he do? He returned to the store, gun in hand, ready to take the money. One-way trip to jail. He's just so stupid that I kind of want to give him a hug and tell him it's going to be okay. But you know what? It's probably not going to be okay because he's going to jail for a very, very long time. So that was that. That was our top 10 list of dumbest criminals. Did I miss anything out? Let me know in the comments below. One thing I want to mention, there were no females in that list. Now, I did research dumb female criminals, but these guys were just a lot dumber. That tells me one thing. Maybe we're just better at getting away with it. So I've been Rebecca Felgate. This has been Most Amazing Top 10. Let me know your thoughts, opinions, life stories, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Check out our other videos kind of floating around over here, and I will see you next time.
I've been so wrapped up in how dumb Twitter can be that I almost forgot other social media platforms out there. Then I found this thing called Instagram. It's a bit like Twitter, except there's more pictures. One thing is still the same. It can be just as dumb, if not more. My name is Danny Berg. If you want to see more of me after this video, my own channel is in the description box below, so head on over there once you're done with the dumb. Are you guys ready to start something now that we all might regret later on? Give this video a thumbs up if you think you can handle the top 10 dumbest Instagram posts. Coming in at number 10, we have Scott Disick, partner of Kourtney Kardashian. With over 19 million followers, Scott is no stranger to doing paid promotions for companies who tell him what to say in his Instagram posts. Like this, for example, where Scott says, "Here you go, at 4 p.m. EST, write the below. Caption, keeping up with the summer workout routine with my morning protein shake." Yeah, he copied and pasted the entire message to the company instead of just doing the little bit that he was supposed to. Part of me does feel bad for him, but part of me is just like, Scott, mate, read the message. It would literally take you 2 seconds to read the full thing. Now it's been ruined. Now this post is going to be seen by like 100 times the amount of people it normally would, and oh wait, he's a marketing genius. Next up at number 9, hashtag National Boyfriend Day. Yeah, this did happen. Be jealous. I think this might be photoshopped. I'm not entirely sure though, so let's just count the hands. We've got 1 down there, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, and there's the 5th hand. 2 people, 5 hands. I guess I was wrong. Everything adds up. Coming at number 8 now, this traffic. Wait a second. I've seen something like this before on Twitter. Let's get all CSI on this. Enhance. 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 Aha! Get the traffic cleared up pretty quick then. Well, that's good to hear. I guess now all we have to worry about is a driver with coffee in one hand, a phone in the other, and neither of them on the wheel. What a relief. Next up at number 7, Lindsay Lohan shares a post that says, "You're beautiful." And there we have the Arabic. Oh, that's nice. Wait, someone in the comments says, "It means you are a donkey." What? It doesn't, obviously. Sure, Lindsay Lohan will check Google Translate before posting this. I'm sure it doesn't mean, oh, wait, so she called us a donkey and beautiful in the same post. I don't know how to take that. Thank you. You're a donkey too. Moving on to number 6 now. Forget dead making me wait in the parking lot because he has to get groceries. Please, I mean, I like to eat more, but come on, do it on your own time. Shaking my head. Hashtag moody. Listen, everyone is a moody teenager at some point in their life. But even moody teenagers understand that if they want to eat, their parents have to go out and get groceries. One day he might be a dad who has to buy the groceries. I'm starting to like that word. Groceries. Next up at number 5, we have this guy who posted some pictures of himself on Instagram. But look below. There's a whole bunch of comments showering him with praise, except they're all from him. Yeah, he had an entire conversation between himself pretending to be fake girls. Now, obviously, on the one hand, this is a bit sad that he's resorted to this, but I also want to know, what was he thinking? Picture this, the comment where he says he sits behind him in pre-calc class, he's talking about himself there. He sits behind himself. It's like a whole world full of him, and we're just living in it. Moving on to number 4 now. Teacher, what's 4 times 4? Me, 8. Teacher, how well do you know PewDiePie? Me, his name is Felix, Swedish name, get it right. Born October 24th, 1989, and his 23, from Gothenburg, Sweden. So you don't know what 4 times 4 is, but you're not dumb because you know when PewDiePie was born. Right. And what kind of teacher is this who asks you what 4 times 4 is, and when you don't get it right, they go, okay, tell me everything you know about PewDiePie. What kind of class is this? What is going on here? Next up at number 3, so cold, hashtag windshield factor. Yeah, windshield factor, which can make things pretty cold, you know. This is windshield factor. That's what happens when it gets so cold, you feel like a car windshield. What am I saying? I thought dumb Instagram might bring back some of my sanity from dumb Twitter, but I think I'm losing even more. And number 2 now, my sister and I visiting my nana at hospital, making her happy by making it rain with hundreds. I can't believe this. Yeah, this is a picture of an old woman in a hospital bed, away from home, with all sorts of wires and tubes sticking out of her. And this pair thought that what she really needs right now isn't flowers or a nice car, but money. Just thrown all over her like she's at some nightclub. As we can see from her face, she is about as far from it as you can get, to be honest, and it looks like she's desperately reaching for the button to call security on her own grandkids. And finally, at number 1, you do realise I can see how many other girls you've sent this picture to. Oh dear, oh dear. You'd think if he was about to message a whole bunch of women with a picture of him lying in bed, he would check to see if they could see who he sent it to. He's basically just started a group chat with a whole bunch of women who are going to think he's a sleaze. Nice move. As we all know, I've seen a lot of dumb things on Twitter, but this is like a whole new type of dumb to me. Well guys, we're dumb, and we're done. And if you want to see me lose a bit more sanity to these dumb Instagram posts, then hit that like button down below to let me know that you want a part 2. I'm Danny Burke. As I said before, my channel is down there in the description box below, so check that one out. I'll see you all in the comment section as well to see if you want a part 2. Until next time, stay sane. Hello guys, have any of you received a DM that you just didn't want? Luckily, most websites have a block feature so you can stop people sending you unwanted messages. However, it's hard to keep out 100% of all the weirdness and creepiness that the internet has to offer. My name is Danny Burke, and this is the top 10 creepiest DMs ever received. Also, if you're thinking, I quite like that shirt or hat that he's wearing, or if I think that by saying this, head on over to mostamazingshop.com to get your merch right after this video. Starting off at number 10 now, we have Do What I Want. Do what I want and I'll go away. Wow, very creepy start. Here's an appropriate response. Or I could just block you, you fucking idiot. I'm on my way to yourself. Yeah, sure you are. House, I am. Do what I want and I'll go away. You don't know my name, where I live. You don't even know what continent I live on. Do you really think I'm that stupid? I've kicked rocks with more brain than you. I took a shit yesterday that was a better conversationalist. I love it. This is one way to shut down a creepy messenger. What was this person thinking? Why did they think this was a good idea and not totally creepily insane? On a side note, I might start saying I'm on my way to yourself when I tell people I'm on my way. That's pretty funny. Alright, next up at number 9 now, we have the background. Now, some couples have each other as their phone background. It's kind of cute. You know what isn't? This. Hi, do I know you? Want to see my new phone background? What the fuck? Now, I'm presuming from the girl's reaction that this is a picture of her. So, a stranger that she doesn't even know has sent her a picture of her as their new background. They've been speaking for presumably 10 seconds, and they send this. Oh, so how did you guys meet? He sent me a picture of myself as his phone background. We didn't even know each other. Yeah, it was love at first creep. Alright, moving on to number 8 now. We have a nudistpedia. Let's just jump straight into this one. It's too strange to waste any time. So, what do you mean? It's a rare disease. I need to see fresh girls without dress to be alive. I want to see you without dress or I will die. That's so funny. What's it called? It's not a joke, okay? Real disease. It's called a nudistpedia. Can't find on Google, don't search. What happens if I don't send you pics? My skin turns red and I will slowly puke blood and die. Just send. I don't really have much to add on this one. This is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard of. I couldn't find any follow-ups to this one, so I can only presume this person sadly died from a nudistpedia. Remember guys, you can't can't find on Google, go search. Alright, next up at number 7 now we have Scrumptious. Hi there, blank. I'm blank, and your profile rather intrigues me. I think you look rather scrumptious. Would you be interested in drinks with a gentleman? Nope. F you then. Ooh, amazing. Now I've seen some people say this girl was being kind of harsh or blunt with that note, but she clearly had an instinct about this guy, and judging from his reply, she was totally right. I don't know what gentleman he was talking about, but it can't have been himself. Maybe he's the gentleman's friend. Maybe I'm looking too much into this. Yeah. Alright, now we have the drunk idiot. That's what I'm calling this one. This guy started off by asking a girl if they're only friends on Facebook so he can see her pictures. He admits he's drunk and says he's going to sleep. Very nice start. She replies with no, because obviously that's not the reason, and then comes a steady stream of absolute craziness. Keep an eye on the date on this one as we scroll down. At first he apologizes, then he says he's waiting for her to be single. Surprisingly, she doesn't reply to this, and then a full 5 months later, he offers her a one-night stand. Then comes another apology, and then a final message saying he wished his girlfriend didn't reply to these kind of messages like the ones that he'd been sending her. The post ends there, thankfully, but if 5 months wasn't enough for this guy to just get the message, I don't know what is. Alright, next up at number 5 now, we have family. Here's a nice, short, simple one for you guys. Hi, you're cute, thanks. I'd love for you to get pregnant by me and us be a family. That is not an okay thing to say to a stranger at all. Yeah, I couldn't have put it better myself. Again, what is going through their mind when they send something like this? Are they thinking this girl is going to be like, wow, I found my partner for life. It's this creepy stranger that messages me 23 seconds ago saying he wants to get me pregnant. I wonder what we'll name our kids. There's about a 100% chance to get blocked with that kind of approach. Alright, at number 4 now, we have the delay. Okay, so this one was posted to Reddit in 2014. Remember that? And look at this message sent in 2012. Did you go to St. John's? No. And then 2 years later, you're ugly anyway. Don't fucking message me again. What? That's terrifying. They waited 2 more years to reply, and then that's what they sent. They called them ugly and told them to not message them again. I'm sure the person they said this to is absolutely devastated that they will never hear from them again. At least not for a few more years. We'll keep you updated though. Next up now, we have the proposal. Hello there. How are you? Hey, I'm fine. Hello, thanks for the reply. Where are you from? How old are you? Why do you want to know? I am looking girl for married and good friend. What the f***? Again, my thoughts exactly. This person is looking for marriage the same way you might look for a used sofa on Kijiji. Just message people randomly and hope you get one in a few days. It's funny because sometimes couples worry about if they're ready to get married after years of being together. This guy got over that in about 10 seconds. Or maybe they just don't understand what marriage actually is. Next up at number 2 now, we have the short one. This is the shortest one on our list, but it is incredibly creepy. Blocking my second account? No. Just no, man. And we've got a nice little angry face there at the end. Okay, let's just think about how creepy this one is for a second. This person has already had their second account blocked. Their second. That means they've been blocked twice, and this is now their third account they've used to message this person. It's very, very creepy if they already have multiple accounts that they use to message people like this. But it's even creepier if they're making whole new accounts each time they get blocked. The icing on the cake is that they are the ones who are angry about it. Totally beyond hope. And finally at number 1 now, we have skin. Your skin looks very smooth. What? And then 3 hours later, we get, your skin looks smooth. What? This one was posted to Reddit by a user pathologically late who said it was the funniest creepy message that she had ever gotten. Hey, I guess that's great if she can laugh it off like that, but for me, this is extra creepy than normal. This sounds like some sort of serial killer messaging a stranger about their smooth skin. When the person then replies in confusion, they just type it again in caps and insult them. Smooth skin. Well, thanks for watching. Which one was the creepiest, do you think? Would you like a part 2? Let me know in the comment section below. As ever, thanks for watching. My name is Danny Burke, and I hope to see you all in the next video. really nice fan mail here at Most Amazing Top 10. You guys send in letters, which we always share on our Instagram. Sometimes though, fan mail to other people can get really weird. Pretty sure some of the stuff on this list is illegal to give to someone, so please don't ever try it, guys. My name is Danny Burke, and this is the top 10 scary fan mail stories. If you're looking at my shirt and thinking that's a pretty cool Most Amazing shirt, well, you can have your own. Head on over to mostamazingshop.com to see all of our merch. Starting off at number 10 now, Zac Efron. Zac Efron is most famous for being the star of High School Musical, and his career is known as a heartthrob around the world. He gets a lot of fan mail. When he was back in 2014, what the craziest thing he ever received from a fan was, he said it was a piece of human skin. He said it was hilarious because you don't know how to handle it, before adding that he loved all his fans. That's all very well and good, but he didn't give any details about the skin. How big was it? What part of the body was it from? Perhaps those questions are best left unanswered. Next up at number 9 now, we have Kesha. In 2014, singer Kesha started receiving teeth from her fans. Yes, teeth. A lot of them. Too many teeth, if I'm honest. Now, you guys might wonder what she did to deserve getting nasty old teeth sent to her in the mail. Well, she asked for them. That's right. After receiving her first few teeth many years before, Kesha decided to make them into a necklace. When she ran out of teeth in 2014, she decided to ask for more. At the time of this bizarre request, she was actually in rehab. Now, unfortunately, the rehab center she was at would not let her receive the teeth. They said they don't accept human remains, as there is always the risk that it could be made of biohazardous material. That's right, your teeth could be biohazardous. Lovely. Next up at number 8 now, we have Dolly Parton. You guys know Dolly Parton, possibly the most famous country singer of all time. Perhaps her most famous song is Jolene, all about a woman who is stealing her man's affection. One fan loved this song so much that they left a gift dedicated to that song on Dolly's doorstep. A baby. Yeah. The baby came with a note that read, "My name is Jolene. My ma has left me here and she wants you to have me." I think an actual baby is a gift too far. I know some of you guys wanted fairy tale where Dolly Parton raises this baby named after her most famous song, but no, Dolly did the right thing. She rang social services, who took the baby into care and possibly renamed it. Moving on to number 7 now, we have the Jonas Brothers. These guys were once asked what's the strangest gift they ever received, and they all agreed it was a tiny dead shark in a little tank. And already I think I have to agree with them. It happened when they were accepting normal gifts from fans,